Hello, Beez Bladers. Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I am so happy you are here. I have what looks to be an awesome one to share with you guys and gals. First, I have to say thank you to my subscribers, thank you to my patrons, and thank you to my channel members. You guys are so awesome. You're making this happen. And by the way, the official unboxing knife is being assisted by the Kizer T1. If you haven't checked this one out, I have a video on this, Disassembly. You ought to go check it out. And I'll, of course, put this links in the description for you, but let's get in here and check this one out. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. I have the feeling this one is going to check a lot of boxes for a lot of people. And I also think there's a lot of folks that think they don't like this style of blade, and they'll be like, I never thought about that. This is the Cyberblade by Yudong, and it's, what's the model number? V2563A3. Let's get in here and see it. Yes. Here we go, here we go. It doesn't have the fancy box, so this would be called the Vanguard version. And come on, get in here. Let's get it, let's get it. I want to see it. Yes. Ooh, that is so cool. Check that out. I really like the idea of adding different style knives to my collection, and this is definitely a different style knife, and I'm excited about this one. Would you look at it? Just look at it. And if you recognize that symbol, you can go see that on Instagram under Dr. EDC. Spell out Doctor. Oh, this is cool looking. And it's not a big blade. Let's see if it does it. Does it flip? Yes, it does. Oh my gosh. Now this, I think, was originally modeled after the Tesla Cybertruck. And I think it's affectionately called the Cybertruck. So here's this side. Oh my gosh, I'm going to tell you, I already have thought of so many uses for this knife. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? Going all the way around. Ooh, I see some nice jimping going on. And you have a glass breaker. We're going to take this apart and we'll see if that's removable or not, if you don't like glass breakers. So we'll find all that out. Tell you what, first let's get the specs real quick. All right, let's get the weight and then we'll do the specs in 60 seconds. I'm going to guess about 2 3/4, maybe about 3 ounces. Go with 3, and it is, what is that? 2.91, come on, make up your mind. 2.9 ounces, very nice. All right, are you ready? Are you set? Let's do this. So from tip to tip, you're 5.63 inches. You have a modified Tanto blade with Bowler M390 blade steel. Yeah. You got a satin finish with a total blade length of 2.13 inches. Your sharpened blade length's 1.83 inches. Your blade width right here is 0.72 inches, and then up here is 1.56 inches. Your blade stock thickness is 137 thousandths of an inch. Nice and hefty. Your thickness behind the edge was 15 and then 25 thousandths. And then you have really nice looking micarta. Love their micarta. Your close length's 3.53 inches from tip to tip. And your handle width's 1.33 inches, and your total close width right up here is 1.69 inches. Your handle thickness is exactly 1/2 inch. And then you have a thumb stud. I don't know what you call that. And a thumb hole. And then we'll see what's in the pivot, because of course we're going to take it apart and see what's inside. And let's see, I don't know if that's a reversible clip. We'll find that out here in just a minute. You have T8 for your body screws, and this is a Yudong design. Your model number is V2563A3. Now you have a few different options with this one. You got the black micarta and then the brown micarta, and then you can get a really sweet looking, it's green micarta with a stonewash blade. That one's very nice, very nice. I mean, not that this one's not very nice. And then there's also a titanium version. Now these are $89, but with my discount, you can go to Mojave Outdoor, or you can go on Amazon and use my discount code, which all my discount codes are in the description, and it'll run you $80, which is really nice. For the blade steel and what you get, yeah, I think that's a good deal. And then there's the titanium version. I think that one runs around 130. Don't quote me on it. I'm just going off memory. But let's go from one end to the other and check this out. Look at that. This is going to be such a utilitarian blade. And not to mention, if you're in a place that has the 3-inch blade limit or law or whatever restrictions, you're not even going to have to worry about that. This is going to be used for so many things. I mean, I have so many things I want to try with this. You could scrape paint with it, open boxes. I mean, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to try this thing out. Let's see what's on this side. It says Cyberblade M390, which is very sweet. And man, I mean, just look at this thing. Let's see how the edge is coming out of the box. Oh, and also the titanium version, that one comes with S35VN blade steel. Almost forgot to tell you. I get a little ahead of myself in case you didn't notice. Okay, let's see what it does. Oh, yes. You hear how clean that is? Oh, yeah, it's got a nice edge. Yes. Now, we took a pretty good tour of it, but I definitely want to give you some texture vision. Would you look at the texture? I mean, micarta, the micarta from Kizer is just, I mean, it is hard to beat. It is awesome. It just has that perfect, like linen, like fabric-y feel. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to give you a look at this. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if you'd call this a thumb stud or a thumb disc of sorts, but I did notice, look at here. Would you look at it? It's reversible. So I was like, oh, it's only on one side, but no, it's not. It's completely symmetrical, which means this thing is going to be reversible as far as I can tell. Maybe not, maybe not. It looks like this side goes a little longer. So you know what? It might not be. So that's something we'll have to look into. I'll definitely look into that. And how about, are we solid? Yes. Solid up and down, left and right, no blade play. How about our lockup? What's our lockup look like? I'd say about what, 20, 40, 60, 80, about 20, 22%. So the lockup's not too bad. Nothing happening on the spine whack test. It didn't move at all. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Are we centered? Yes, we are centered. Look how thick that is, man. This thing's going to take a pounding. And how does it go in and out of the pocket? Oh boy, that pocket clip is tight. It is not going to fall out of your pocket. That's without a doubt. It is in there. All right, we'll do some quick size comparisons. Here it is width-wise up against the QSP Penguin. It's a little bit bigger than the Penguin. I'm going to lay it out, and you guys know the drill. Hopefully you have some of these. Here is the Spyderco Delica 4 and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Let me get them all lined up, pivot to pivot. So there's those two. You can see it's not a long knife. This is going to fit in your fifth pocket. I already know. Why? Because I just did. And here's the QSP Penguin. If you don't have a Penguin, what? You can go check out my video on the Penguin. You can get it in almost every color, and I know you can get it under every color in the rainbow. Here is the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. So you can see I'm not going to have many this short because, man, this is going to be such a utility knife. Here's the Kubi KU332. And how about the CJRB Mylea? Everybody loves a Mylea, and you can get this in several colors too. Now, here's a couple I was curious. Here is the Cold Steel Mini Tough Light, and here's the Cold Steel Tough Light. So if you have a Tough Light, and I thought everyone had a Tough Light, and you talk about another knife that comes in almost every color in the rainbow, the Tough Light and the Mini Tough Light, definitely. So it's about the same size, kind of blade width. Your blade width is about the same, and the blade height, you have a little more height on it. So now you have an idea of the size of this knife. All right, let's check out the action and the ergos. First, a call to action. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button right above it. Hit all. You do not want to miss what's coming up on the channel, and you don't want to miss the live streams. We'll get into that in just a minute while we're taking it apart. Let's see. How do you flick this open and look through the camera at the same time? Okay, there's one attempt. How about the reverse flick? Aha, there we go. That's gonna be it right there. Oh yeah, nice snap. Now I can fit my finger through it, so that's something you can do. I don't think you want to do that. Can we flick it? Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. Going well. Thank you, all the grammar folks out there. Can I open it left-handed? Yes, I can open it left-handed. And yeah, I don't think that's gonna be reversible because if we turn this to the other side, I think it might be a little too far over this way, and it might hit the scale. And I don't know if I have enough position. I don't have enough position on my left hand to flick it. If I was more dexterous, I might be able to with my left hand, and I don't know if I could even reverse flick it. Yeah, I'm going to try it, though. I'm going to try it. It's worth trying. No, come on, let's try it again. There we go. A little bit of practice. I'll have that one down. It's going to be really good for utility cuts and all that. Let's go ahead and check out the ergos. My hand is 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm, the tip of my middle finger, and let me zoom out here a little bit. That is 7.25 inches. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm good at that. You know, I'm excited. I want to play with this thing because it's a tool, not a toy. Anyway, so let's see. How does it feel? Am I getting any hot spots? So if I'm holding it up here with my finger all the way up at the tang, or up at near the ricasso, if you will, I can feel it on my middle finger. It hits my middle finger right there. Now let's see. All right, so if I'm holding it like this, I can feel the glass breaker, and the glass breaker looks like it has little notches on it. I don't know if you could see those. It looks like it's probably removable since you have those notches. I don't know. We'll see if there's anything on the inside here in just a minute. But how about this? Look at that. It's just made. It's made to do utility cuts. Cutting cardboard, cutting whatever. It's just a small utility knife that is just super solid. Man, it is solid. How about left-handed? Yeah. I mean, I really like how my thumb just like folds right over the top. That is pretty cool. And look at that. It's just like, I mean, that's what this is made for. And another thing, I think this is going to be great for scraping. I really like a blade like this that you can get. I mean, how many times have you wanted to scrape off something, scrape off glue and that kind of thing? That's why I really like utilitarian blades like this. They're very useful. Opening packages, you're going to be able to open packages all day long with this tip. And this is a very easy knife to sharpen. You sharpen this side very simply, nice and straightforward. Then you sharpen the front side. Super easy to sharpen. So let's get in here and take this apart, and then I'll come back and tell you my thoughts. I've got some thoughts on this bad boy. Now, this is everything I need, everything you need to take your knives apart, clean them, disassemble them. You can take a screenshot of this, come back, check it later. But I'm telling you what, get you a Weehaw stubby. You'll be glad you did when you need some torque. It's that way you won't strip your screw or your bit. And definitely go to KPL Knife Pivot Lube. You'll see me using this. I use it on all my knives. I have a description. I have a description in the link. I have a link in the description. 10% off discount code. The White Mountain Knives, KPL, all kinds of knife supplies and maintenance and knives I recommend. Go check all that stuff out. But you can take a screenshot and definitely these things right here, these little swabbies, my doodads, I love these things. You can clean your knife out without having to take it apart and get all that dust and pocket lint out of there. And besides that, get you a Weehaw bit set. Don't get the cheap set. If you go buy a cheap set, you'll regret it because you're going to strip them. I'm just saying. And check this out. It doubles as an extra driver. And if you've watched my videos, you see a lot of times when I've needed 2 drivers. And this really comes in handy. Not to mention you can have one at work, have one in your car, your glove box, an extra one. All right, so let's get into it. Now, I'm thinking this has to be a really simple one, which means we're probably going to fall into some trouble. Maybe, maybe not. Now, besides the Weehaw, there are many, many different brands and styles of these fancy bits you can get. Like you have ones here for 20 bucks, and then you have the more fancy pricey ones. I'll put some links to some nicer ones in there, but all you need to start out is a stubby and the bit set, and you're good to go. So I'm going to go from the clip side, and let's see. Okay, very nice, very, very nice. That just spun right out. And do we have any, doesn't look like any Loctite really on there. Not that I can see. Okay, all right. So one more screw, is it that simple? So let's see, is it going to come out without spinning? Feels like it's coming out. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. And I think, yes, it does have a little bit of Loctite on it. I'll show you. There you can see that blue. And if you use the Loctite, make sure you just use a toothpick and just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. And use the right one. Don't use the wrong Loctite. If you don't use my link, make sure you go back to your screenshot. If you use the wrong kind, you will regret it. Trust me. And I gotta say it while I'm thinking about it. Don't forget, on Friday nights, Eastern Standard Time, 8:15 to 11:15, Beez Blades live at the Hive. Oh, right. You don't want to miss it. Look at there, right off. Just like that. Just like that. Did I say that? You can see here where the oil from the factory where they've lubed it. It got a little bit of looby-doob, and it's soaked into the micarta. It's not on this side. And by the way, this micarta, it will darken up just with the oils of your skin and get that natural patina look, which is very nice, very, very nice. But Friday nights, Beez Blades live at the Hive is an absolute blast, and you don't want to miss it. I'm telling you. And of course, we do a giveaway every Friday night. Let's see, is this going to pop off? You know me, I start talking, and I forget what I'm doing. All right, so are we going to pop off here? I'm going to use my little plastic spudger, my little spudge bar, and see if it's going to pop off on this side. I think it's just on there kind of tight. Yes. So it just needed a little something to kind of help encourage it. And I'm being careful. Don't want to cut myself. There we go. There we go. So you can buy little sets. I think I have a link in the description, little plastic spudgers. That way you don't scratch your knife all up. So look here. You can see it's all lined out, milled out for weight. That's very nice. Very, very nice. And man, it is very, very well milled out. And this is all stone wash. This is really cool. I'm guessing this probably goes with the green well, because the green has this stone wash blade, which I think looks really cool. And here's the inside. It's very nice and clean. And let's take a look at our, every time I go to do this, I can't remember what these are called. I always draw a blank and it cracks me up. And you guys always notice the little things that I do, my little goof ups. But, is it ceramic ball bearings? Is it steel ball bearings? Well, typically, if they're dark black onyx like that, they're going to be ceramic ball bearings. And usually I'll use what do you call that thing? It attracts metal, a magnet, to show you that if you have one and you take it apart and you don't know if it's ceramic or steel, you could just hold it up. This is a really strong magnet. And if it doesn't stick to the magnet, you know it's ceramic bearings. Just saying, a little trick. I have a piece of microfiber cloth that I put some rubbing alcohol on it. And I'll actually let you get a really good look at these bearings. I always like to look at the bearings. But I have a feeling this is going to go quick, so I got to remember, I got to get back. I keep my Carta. Instead of saying squirrel on the live streams, we always say my Carta, because, that's just what we do. You have to come to the live streams. Be a lurker. Just go in there and look. Nobody can see you, but you'll see that we're all just talking and having a good time, talking about knives, talking about whatever comes up. And if you're not familiar or you're new to the knife community is awesome. It's the bunch of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. Everyone supports each other. Everyone helps each other out. It is so much fun. It is an awesome, awesome group of people. So I'm just wiping this all down with the alcohol. And let's see. Yes, see there, we have a D-shaped pivot. Let's see if we can get some contrast going on here. Along with a fuzzy. Can't have the tactical fuzzies in there. So this is your whole thing. I mean, there's not a lot to it. Let's get your blade. There you go. Not a whole lot to it. And, the big thing with this one that I thought would be really cool, which is that it's a utility knife. One I could fit in my fifth pocket. And that's my favorite kind of, opening a bag of chips, tactical chip opening. I joke. But I'm putting a little bit of KPL, Knife Pivot Lube, original. And I'm just going to put some of that right here. Right there. You can see where the ball bearings ride. I'm not putting a lot. And I use these little swabs because I'm heavy-handed and I usually just get it all over the place and use too much. You don't have to. You don't have to be all precise, but I like using these, and I put it around the pivot too. Make everything all looby-doobed up. Got to be lubed up. You don't ever want to not be lubed up, am I right? But yeah, the live streams are an absolute blast. Did I clean this off? Boy, if I didn't, it sure looks like I did, but yeah, I did. It's just, a lot of these knives I get, they're doing a really good job of cleaning them, but I'm just making sure that I'm getting down in there in the nitty gritty. I'm going to use a clean one here, get down in the grit of things. There we go. All right. Just making sure it was nice and clean. I'll put some lube in there, a little bit of looby-doob. But you guys are so much fun. I really appreciate it. And I really, really like the comments. If you are not a Beez Blades member or you're not a patron, the one way you show your support is by commenting on every video. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have an opinion about the knife. You could just say hello. Tell me what you had for breakfast. Tell me what you had for lunch. Anything. Just say hi. And it supports the channel. Helps the algorithm, and it tells YouTube that, hey, other people that like knives might want to watch this too and see this crazy dude that everyone says has too much energy. Hey, and I'm not I drink coffee, but I mean, not that much. All right, so let's put this thing back together. And am I missing anything? Probably. So I'm going to put my ball bearing back on here. A little bit of ball bearing action. And I love the movie quotes. And I also really, I don't know, I might be opening up a can of worms here. I love the dad jokes. And by the way, at the live streams, we go over, fun stuff. What knife did you carry? What knife was in your pocket today? Or what knife did you order this week? Or what's the new knife that's coming out? And look how heavy duty this stop pin is. That thing is not messing around. That's a chunker. But I do a pocket check and say, hey, what did everybody have in your pocket? And then if you have a question, Man, you talk about the place to ask it. And me, I'm no expert by any sense of the imagination. And if I have a question, you're going to have, 100, 150 people, and someone in there is going to know the answer to your question. They're going to be like, oh yeah, you do this, or oh yeah, you can go over here and get them over here. Ooh, look at there. Almost missed the KPL heavy. I did on the last one. A couple of you caught it, and I had to come back and put a clip. So this right here is your detent hole. And you see this semicircle going around there? Semi? And I'm going to be really careful, try not to put too much. Can I put a drop without being... Yes. So I'm just going to put a little bitty trail. See, I could do it with the KPL heavy a little better than I can with the other. You don't even need quite that much. But that right there, you can see that's going to make it nice and smooth. Very, very smooth. But yeah, if you have any questions about knives or... parts or anything like that. I mean, this knife community has so much knowledge. It's crazy. It is crazy. You can see this is going back together very nicely. Very, very nicely. And you don't have to have a fancy driver like this. The Weehaw stubby bit driver works absolutely fine. So I'm not cranking that down. I put that in. Now see how the pocket clip, there's a space for it right there. So I think you could reverse it, but it's not going to set right. So I wouldn't call it a reversible pocket clip, even though the screw hole is going to be the same. I would not call it technically reversible. So let's put this dude in here. And you know what? Let's check real quick. I didn't see anywhere where you could take that glass breaker out. I'm just getting ahead of myself. I was like, that was just so quick and easy. And I don't see anywhere in here. You know what? Let's go ahead and double check and look. That way, if somebody has a question, we'll have the answer. That's, part of why we're here, right? So I don't see any spot on the inside anywhere where you could unscrew it. So I'm thinking it has to be unscrewed from the outside. I don't see any access points. Nope. Don't think so. So let's put this dude back on. And then I do have a few thoughts about this one when it comes to ergos. But also, I'll tell you right now, this knife is going to be one of my favorites just because of the utility purposes of it. If you just are an everyday carry kind of person, this knife is going to be so good. And if you're a lady, this is going to be excellent for the ladies because most women's pants have the short pockets. And how do I know? Because Mrs. Beez carries knives. And if you have short pockets, this is going to fit in your pockets, no problem. It's going to fit. It's going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, so are we centered? Yes, we are centered and no blade play, no lock rock. All right, let's go back to the big screen. All right, let's wrap it up with this little bad boy. So a couple of things I noticed. One thing is, depending on how you hold it, you can feel this edge right here. It depends. So if you're doing utility cuts, this right here is super comfortable. Your finger just wraps. I mean, it was just made for utility cuts all day long. But I can feel, depending on how I'm holding it, I can feel the glass breaker. And I'm curious, somebody in here's got to know, because this knife didn't just come out. This is a brand new version of the scales, but it's not a brand new knife. So it's been around. Somebody tell me if you can take the glass breaker off, because I know there's people in the comments gonna ask, or you're gonna know. So I really appreciate that. I'm curious about that, because depending on how I hold it, if I hold it like this, I can kind of feel it just a little bit sideways. But other than that, I really like it. It's a good fifth pocket carry. I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to take a little practice getting used to how short and stubby it is. No comment. But, I really like that reverse flick. I like it. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be great to use. I'm going to be glad I have this. I can't wait to scrape some glue off of something or scrape some paint off of something. This is going to be a good utility knife. I'm really excited about it. And I'm also very curious to see what you guys and gals have to say about it. So let me know in the comments, and until then, make sure you live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.